I feeling energized today? Are you feeling energized?
Yes!
Are you?
Are you feeling energized?
Yes!
Oh my God, mataas pala ng mga energy. Puno-puno ako ng energy. And speaking of energy, mga misis, ang topic natin for today is Ever Ready Battery. Motto light pang matagalan.
Yes.
The energetic self. And ang title ng episode natin today ay...
Kaya pa ba today?
Oh, divine.
Kayang-kaya mga
Kaya?
busy, sabi nga. In this episode, we will talk about exercise, nutrition, vitamins, and supplements for PLHIV. Pero bago yan, for our first topic, i-welcome muna natin ang ating first guest. Topper Fabregas. Topper is an actor, theater director, and a fitness instructor. Welcome.
Welcome. Come on. Going out of the rain.
Yes! Oh my God. Also, Topper helps out with the Red Whistle, Love Yourself, SHIP, and other HIV organizations whenever he gets the chance.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much for
Super.
joining us today.
Thank you for having me. It's such an honor.
Ala, tapos na.
Oh my God! Thank you so much, bye.
Yeah, so kamusta naman?
Okay naman. How are you guys?
Buti ka pa.
Nag-open
up. Kasi yung
kinaya.
sister ko kasi kanina pa to eh.
Topper, you're a fitness instructor. Where?
I work at Saddle Row. It's a fitness boutique. No, grabe yung name. Boutique fitness
So may
studio.
mga gamot-gamot din.
Butika yun.
Butika.
Yeah, so Saddle Row.
Yeah, it's a boutique fitness studio sa May Rockwell. So we teach indoor cycling, indoor rowing, and then we also have a whole bunch of other exercises. So I've been working there for mga 6 years na, actually.
Wow. So may abs ka?
Not
Ay,
now.
parang...
Grabe naman. Grabe
Ang galing
naman.
mo may pasok yun.
Abs.
Kaya naka-black.
Smile.
Oh.
But as a fitness instructor, how has fitness influenced your life?
I'm also a performer, diba? So, parang it's medyo, wow, grabe, no?
Di ba mukha mo sa
Oo, kasi theater
performer?
actor siya.
Yun yun.
In other words, it's really a part of what I have to do, diba, as a performer, just to stay healthy. So, parang, diba, as a performer, I have to stay as, as healthy or as fit as I can. But in terms of the fitness journey, I really kind of fell in love with it when I started doing yoga. I fell in love with yoga and parang the benefits that it gave me. Not just physically, but also parang it made me so aware of my body. It made me so aware of, the body that God gave me, right? And so parang from there, I started to kind of fall in love with fitness. And then I kind of wanted to share that with people. So it was just this slow, parang, yun nga, as I said, parang a slow journey into falling in love with kind of discovering the body and sharing it with others.
Speaking of, kasi si Topper,
Yes.
yan, very, damdam ko yung passion mo talaga when it comes to fitness, to health and fitness. And since we are an empowerment series for PLHIV,
Yes.
what kind of exercises ba ang recommend mo for people living with HIV?
Actually, yung ironic thing, actually, when they asked me to be part of the show, they said, can you tell us, exercises that would benefit people not living with HIV, which is so ironic that it doesn't matter, right? It's just exercises for people in general. And I think what's so interesting now is, parang, especially after the pandemic, after COVID, medyo naging great equalizer siya. We're all thinking about our immune systems. I mean, all of a sudden, that's our first priority. So, in other words, we're all in the same, diba? We're all in the same field bigla. And so when you think about the immune system and you think about how to, one, I'm sure they think about how to repair the immune system, how to make it stronger. Exercise is always the most recommended thing because of its benefits. Everything from the fact that exercise can helps repairing the immune system, helps strengthen the immune system. It helps fight depression, diba? It helps relieve stress. What I always tell people, regardless of whether or not you're living with HIV or not, is start moving, right? Any sort of, yes, let's go. Gusto ko yan, instant, yes. Find anything that you can do 2 to 3 times a week that's moderate in intensity and find something that you like. And start small, start slow. Whether it's walking, biking, swimming, yoga, I always recommend yoga first.
Dancing.
Basta anything that brings you joy, I think anything that that kind of kickstarts this journey for you, just start slow. Start with baby steps.
You know what, Topper? It's a good thing you mentioned about, start small, and then it's also good to note that when you do exercise talaga and even dancing, it produces certain hormones, happy hormones like endorphins, which is, I think, very good for PLHIV community. Because, as PLHIV, we get into certain depression, anxiety from time to time, not to mention, of course, yung mga, na naman si Nat mention, pero may mention ko na. Not to mention, syempre, sometimes may mga side effects yung ARVs, sometimes we get into that state, no? But moving around really helps.
Yeah.
Definitely really helps. I can attest to that.
And I think you have to tell also people to not, again, think about the focus is you have to come from, and not to sound too like whatever, right? But you have to come from a place of joy. Parang you always have to come from a place that, parang this gives me joy. Moving around gives me joy at the end of the day.
Tapos
and
yung joy ipunin mo, maghugas ka ng plato. Gumagalaw ka pa rin, di ba?
Movement pa rin yun, as long as that,
Bisang ka to.
Michael.
Pero just to ask,
Yeah.
October, since you're a fitness
Yeah.
instructor, have you had any clients, have you had experience working with PLHIV clients?
Oh yeah, for sure. Whether or not, and I'm sure I have had clients who have also not disclosed it.
Yeah.
But I've had clients who've come in, especially specifically for working out, again for repairing their immune system. Right? Because again, ibang journeys yan eh. So. I've had people absolutely come in and disclose their status and just tell me and also tell me that I'm coming in here to work out, and I also tell them at the end of the day great, but you're just as equal as the next person coming into my class. There's no other difference because sometimes they disclose it na parang okay ba to para sa akin, right? Is this too intense for me or is it too ano? I'll tell them you're the same lang tayo. It's all equal. You're all coming in the same sort of level of fitness.
Yeah, because we'll be under the impression that there are specific activities that are like just indicated for people living with HIV. Because especially for those who are taking ARVs, yung iba sa kanila nahihilo. And they're like special activities just for them. Vertigo. Vertigo po.
I think it's why I always stress, especially for PLHIV, is that start small. You don't have to hit it kaagad. That's why also I really recommend yoga first. One that's actually interestingly enough, that's what kind of opened me up to the community. I was looking for donation-based yoga, and I met people sa Yoga for Life, and I just started taking classes, and that's when I also realized that they were actually an advocacy group, because nga yoga is such a great, I think, parang baby step towards fitness. One, it's again, it's low impact. You can take that at your own pace, and like I said earlier, it makes you so aware of your body. It really makes you, again, not to be so sentimental about it, right? But it really makes you fall in love with your body and the body that you're given. And I think that's what's most important. I think especially for people living with HIV, I think it's so important for them to rediscover their body and love it, because that's the only body that God, he or she gave you. And I think at the end of the day, that's for me the most important thing. And then everything else is just the cherry on top. All the physical benefits, all the mental benefits, cherry on top na yan, right?
Bong, parang gusto ko na mag-yoga tuloy.
Yes! Bagay
Tsaka
sa'yo,
maganda yung
sis.
sinabi ni Topper talaga that, to each his own, may kanya-kanyang journey ang bawat isa sa atin. And the key message there, I think, is that we're all equal, di ba? Yung katawan natin, kailangan lang talaga mas maging aware tayo dun sa ating sariling pangangatawan. That's a good messaging.
So, nag-play ka doon ng characters as PLHIV sa Angels in America and The Normal Heart.
Yes.
Bongga ka.
Nag-aabang dyan. Ano yung tatanong?
Just so you know.
At least alam natin.
FYI lang.
Thank you, be. So, ano yung mga learnings na nakuha mo by playing these characters and paano mo siya nagamit sa advocacy?
What started was actually I had to do a workshop with Love Yourself. Actually, that's where I met Jabar. They asked me to do a workshop for the counselors to help them parang have an outlet for for all the stuff that they go through. I think we forget, diba, that counselors, diba, take on so much, diba, they see all these people every day, and of course na-absorb nila lahat and wala silang outlet. So that's kind of what started the journey for me. Kind of opened me up to this community, working with them. And then when I got cast in The Normal Heart a few years later, I of course had to research kasi yung character ko dun basically contracts HIV and passes away from AIDS. But of course, this was during the AIDS pandemic, which is 1980s. Very different time. But I had to research and figure out about the different stages. And then, because of my research, I was actually confronted with my own sort of ignorance about HIV. All of a sudden, sabi ko, akala ko I knew it, but I didn't know. And I was so grateful for that because it just really opened my eyes. I didn't know what undetectable meant. I didn't understand ARVs. And because of that, because of my research, I was confronted with my own ignorance and also my own stigma. Because the research that I did with that, it just really opened my eyes and also introduced me to even more people from the community. That's where I met people from the Red Whistle. I met people from SHIP. I met all these, wonderful. I know we use the word frontliners so much, but they were typically the frontliners, right, at the end of the day. So, yun, made me fall in love with that community and made me want to help out in any way I could possibly help out in.
You mentioned a lot of good points about really the benefits of exercise, going into really fitness and everything. Your lastly na lang, what would be your message really to the PLHIV community about really going into the fitness arena, taking good care of their physical health as well?
I think my advice is especially for people, again, whether you're living with HIV or not, and you don't really have let's quote unquote an active lifestyle. Starting it is always the hardest. It's really the hardest. It's really the hardest hill to climb. Getting it to be a habit, right? But you have to start somewhere. So I always tell people have baby steps, baby goals, baby goals.
Baby
girl.
Baby mo siya.
Think about what you want to achieve, of course, in the long run first, but also tell yourself, I have to take one step forward. So whether or not it is walking, if that's the first thing that you can do, right? I'm just gonna walk 20 to 30 minutes today. Okay na yun, right? Start small. If you're gonna say, okay, I'm gonna try swimming, kahit mag one lap ka lang, right? Isang lap lang, get from one end to the next. Okay na yun. Start small and then see how you feel after and then just kind of build from there. The thing about fitness is that it, like you said earlier, right? It's gotta be a personal journey and it's a different journey for each person. Some people find joy in higher intensity workouts. Some people find joy in yoga. Some people just love walking. And if I'm telling you, if you just walk for 3 times a week, 30 minutes.
How long? 30 minutes?
Oo, sabihin mo na. And I'm not like a super expert. I'm just like talking in parang layman's terms. When you do that, you're already doing better than most. So parang move and don't beat yourself up too much when
Pressure.
Yeah, don't pressure yourself too much. Just start small. And again, rediscover your body, love your body. It's the only body that you were given, right? So just learn to love it and learn to nurture it however way it works for you. Wow, yun naman ako.
It all starts with love talaga, self-love. It also helps, no, tama, no, Topper, pagka meron kang kabady.
Exactly, sir. That's also what I, yes.
So, may accountability din eh. So, parang minsan tatamarin ka,
Yeah.
but your body, hindi, gawin natin to,
Yeah.
parang nahahata ka rin ng energy, or it's the other way around.
Thank you for actually mentioning that because I forgot. But yeah, yun, if you have a hard time kind of getting it started, find a group, find a friend, as you said, accountability. Ayun, iba-iba yan eh. Some people though, parang some people like it na ito lang yung personal goal ko. Some people like it when they're accountable with other people. And also look at it in terms of, and again, this goes for people who are either you're living with HIV or not, especially during the pandemic. I think working out or moving gives you a sense of control. And there's so many things, diba, that we couldn't control, all of us, right? Like I said earlier, parang the pandemic was the great equalizer. There's so much that happened na hindi mo kontrolado, diba? But I think a lot of people turned to working out because all of a sudden it was like, oh, I can control this, diba? Parang ako yung king of my domain dito. I can work on my body, I can work on my fitness, however way that might be. And I can control this. And as long as I can hold on to something that I can control, the benefits go all over the place, right? Whether you're mental, emotional, physical.
Even spiritual.
Spiritual, sorry God. Oo nga pala. Spiritual nga pala. Spiritual nga pala.
Spiritual, pwede ka bang sambahin? Charot lang. Wala pa kasi akong religion. Di ba ang bongga ng discussion?
Oh,
I
yes,
love it. Parang gusto ko na mag-jogging ngayon.
Oh, halika na.
Sabi ko nga kanina, healthy body, healthy mind, di ba?
At dahil dyan, no, dahil gusto mo yan, let's pause muna at mag-exercise.
Ay, Topper, can you show us some exercises that we can
Wow,
do?
okay.
Habang nakaupo.
Habang nakaupo, since medyo limited yung natin. Actually, what we'll focus on, let's focus on some maybe stretching. Actually, what we'll do is let's focus on, since we're seated anyway, and I think this is good for everybody, since a lot of people, diba, we work in desks, especially over the pandemic, over computers, so we're always hunched over. So I always tell people we have to find the opposite of that since we're always hunched over. So super simple, super basic stuff that we can do at home, sitting down, right? First off, actually, this goes for people who work a lot, especially for people who type a lot on their laptops, I'm sure, and then with their nails, right? You always want to, always warm up your wrists. You want to warm up your fingers. Super easy. You just roll it. Super kaya na. These are super simple, super easy. I actually recommend this a lot to people. You can press the palms in before you start to work on your computer. You'll be so surprised at how many people come to my class with with injuries in their wrists. And so we're all different people. So some people have stronger wrists than others. So I always tell people, if you're gonna work on a desk, warm up your wrists all the time, especially if you're gonna do a lot of physical activities after, right? We always warm up our wrists anyway. Parang iba naman. Kanina ganun, ngayon ganun. Iba, although nakakatulong siya, see? Nakakatulong siya. So remember, work out the wrist. And then now, for any time we're kind of hunched over anything, right? You want to think about always stretching either the sides and then the opposite stretch with the body. So super simple lang tayo. Trust me. If you want to go simple, you just interlace the fingers. Sana kaya ba tayo sa framing na to? You stretch this up. Kaya ba?
Yung gray area niya.
Exposed. Exposed ka ba? Sorry.
Intertropical conversion.
Di ba sabi ko dapat love your body? Yan yung body na niya sa'yo.
Ito pala yung baby step ko hanggang dito.
Hanggang dyan.
Bakit nakasmoke?
Fashion!
Baka maging weather forecasting.
Puyat kasi ko.
Ganun ba?
Ano yung eye bags?
Ay, lalo naka-false lashes din
Sige. So we won't do that na lang. So option, you can raise that up. Let's go na lang, different stretch tayo. Now we're gonna decompress the lower back, the lower spine. Yun na lang. Interlace it behind the back, and you can do this in your desk, right? So basically, you can either press the palms together, up to you, or you can open the palms towards the floor. So rotate yung shoulders, roll the shoulders back, keep the chest open. And all you want to do is either you can glance totally up at the ceiling if you'd like, or a few inches in front of you, and just hold this for about 20 to 30 seconds. And then you just hold this, decompress that, and then shake it off, and then maybe do 2 or 3 rounds of that after sitting in the desk for a long time.
Shake it.
Yes.
Bakit natawa? Shake it off nga, Doctor.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yes.
Love it!
Yes.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Topper.
Yes,
Thanks
thank
for
you,
having me.
Topper.
For
Thank
coming to the
you.
show. Nag-enjoy kami, nag-revitalize kami, and we really felt, a change in our state of mind and state of heart hanggang sa little stretching na ginawa namin.
Allah.
Yes.
Diba?
Thank you, Topper.
Thank you so much for having me, guys. Thank you. Thank you.
So, kailangan fresh batch siya every time. Kasi kapag yung...
Natuto ko magmahal ulit. Illegal kasi yun. Hindi pa din.
Kasi